morning?
No.
It was actually quite adorable. Two little kids, one of them, each of them had a rose in their hand, and the little boy is complaining, "I wish these roses didn't have thorns." And the girl says, "I'm glad these thorns have roses." Oh. We have a calendar somewhere out front. If you're new to the Divine Fellowship, things going on this month on the front page, and an article by Janice on the back. And if this is your first time, we would have played a song, which is not working right now. That's okay. We normally start the service with me talking about our patron saints, George Carlin and John Lennon, and telling stupid jokes. So, but if they're really, really stupid and you really get a real big moan, they were given to me by you, so not my fault. John Lennon, "I believe that time wounds all heals." Karma. Karma will get you every time. And George, atheism is a non-profit organization. And toothache, the pain that drives you to extraction. Tomorrow, one of the greatest labor-saving devices of today. Yawn, an honest opinion openly expressed. And wrinkles, something people other have, similar to my character lines. Getting more and more, too. What can I say?
Well, you are a character.
Okay. Aging. Eventually you will reach a point when you stop lying about your age and start bragging about it. And some people try to turn back the odometers. Not me. I want people to know why I look this way. I traveled a long way and some of the roads weren't paved. All right. Sometimes it does take a rocket scientist. Scientists at NASA built a gun specifically to launch standard 4-pound chickens at windshields of airlines, military jets, and the space shuttle, all traveling at maximum velocity. The idea is to simulate frequent incidents of collisions with airborne fowl to test the strength of windshields. British engineers heard about the gun and were eager to test it on windshields of their new high-speed trains. Arrangements were made and the gun was sent to the British engineers. When the gun was fired, the engineers stood shocked as the chicken hurled out of the barrel, crashed into the shattered-proof windshield, smashed it to smithereens, blasted through the control console, snapped the engineer's backrest in two, and embedded itself in the back wall of the cabin like an arrow shot from a bow. The horrified Brits sent NASA the disastrous results of the experiment along with the designs of the windshield and begged the U.S. scientists for suggestions. NASA responded with one line: defrost the chicken. Works every time. Stopped by police at 2 a.m. An elderly man was stopped by police around 2 a.m. and was asked where he was going at this time of night. Frank replied, "I'm on my way to a lecture about alcohol abuse and the effects it has on the human body, as well as smoking and staying out too late." The officer then asked, "Really? Who's giving this lecture and at this time of night?" The man replied, "My wife." We are going to try to have an abbreviated service this morning, trying to get through things as quickly as possible, but I still have a couple more things to do. In 10 minutes, a hurricane releases more energy than all of the world's nuclear weapons detonated at once. You learn something every time you go to church. Street dancing was a chief form. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Wow. Okay. This phrase, "what the dickens," has nothing to do with the famous English novelist. It is simply a euphemism for "what the devil." The expression was common centuries before Charles Dickens was ever born. Having been used by William Shakespeare in The Merry Wives of Windsor, I cannot tell what the dickens his name is. You fill in the blanks. And the things that make you go, We all have the strength enough to endure the misfortunes of others. Despite great projects, when they do not feel themselves capable of great success. I read this last week myself. That was last week. Cease to ask what the morrow will bring forth, and set down as gain each day that fortune grants. Kind of like, I'm sure glad the thorns have roses.
Yes.
All right. And I know that I had a song I was going to play today. And I had it all written down. And I know I got the CD to do it. Let me see if I can remember what I was going to do. Let's do this one.
A surprise.
If all works well, we will sing Angels Among Us.
Oh, cool.
And yes, there's a reason for the insanity.
Yes, there was. And it's just that we have a selfie station out front that nobody's really using too much. So there's a selfie station out there if you want to take goofy pictures and fun pictures and all kinds of other stuff that's out there. So have fun.
Why not? Why not?
At a station. Selfies.
Escape while you can. Okay. Hi there.
Hi.
Welcome to the Divine Fellowship. Glad you're here, glad you're here. We're going to do a process today. Sometimes in the Divine Fellowship we do processes, and this is one of those. At the Divine Fellowship, 15, 17 years ago, there we go. Is that too loud now?
No.
17 years ago, we had, 17 and a half years ago, we had our first service at the Divine Fellowship. Bill and I figured that there just had to be something different out there. And lo and behold, we are a little different. Bill and I feel like in order to make a difference, it's okay to be a little different. And so we wanted to make things different. Wanted things to be a little different. Because we believe there's truth in all faiths. And because of that, if we focus on the truths, we're in harmony. All faiths kind of simply have the same loving presence and loving background. When we get hung up in my personal preferences, then we lose it. And that's when we have arguments, and that's when we have conflict, and that's when we have difficulty. So if we can own our own faith and respect somebody else's faith, we have harmony. So at today's service, our service is going to be based around a Maori healing circle, which is a tradition of the New Zealand Aboriginal people. When I first started doing this, I used to call it the Maori, because I didn't know how it was pronounced. I learned it a thing or two, so now I think I at least got that part right. But the process here, Sandra's going to hand out paper. This is usually where we people get scattered. So kind of take your paper and pens and try to stay focused, because I'm going to ask you, when you get your piece of paper, first thing I'd like you to do is draw a circle on it, a big circle on your paper. So grab paper and pass it down. Sandra, we're going to do that for you. Draw a circle on your paper. And then we're going to add things to that. Now, while you're getting this paper, the Maori people, once a year, would go to their spiritual leader. And the spiritual leader would draw a circle on the ground and hand them stones. And the stones would represent things, these few things.
You can do it, fun.
And they would throw the stones over their shoulder. And then the religious leader would interpret where the stones landed as to what that meant for that person and what information that could give them for the rest of the year, and how to guide their year, how to support them. So we can take this same thing and apply it to whatever situation is going on in your life. If you have a specific situation you would like to have insights about, this is a wonderful process to help you have insights. So I'm gonna, once you get your circle on your piece of paper, everybody got a pen? Pens are coming. Everybody have you got pens going?
They're gonna have some.
Everybody needs pens. Yeah, we need pens. There's more paper at the Vine Fellowship booth, so. You wanna hone your paper out?
It's fine.
There's another sheet. Who needs paper?
It doesn't matter. No sink. You're gonna draw other things.
More paper's coming.
No, we have more coming.
Okay.
We need more coming. We're out.
I said, William is gonna run back to the Vine Fellowship booth and grab some more paper. So, now, here's the deal. The wonderful thing about the Vine Fellowship, you don't have to think, you don't have to remember. Once you get your circle on your piece of paper, I'd like you just to think about the situation that you have going, that you would like to have some insights about. Pens. And as you're processing that information about the situation, just breathe. Just breathe.
Hurting people.
And know that if you ask for guidance, guidance will be given.
You want to go first?
You're heard. Divine Spirit, whatever that is for you, loves you and wants you to have the information that will assist you and help you right now. And can bring to you your awareness things that will be of assistance to you. In this state of being just open and willing, I'm going to identify, hey, put the back. Oh, this one wrong. Thank you for bearing with me. I'm going to say a symbolic object, and I want you to draw it any way you want to, anywhere you want to, in that circle. Don't worry about what it's supposed to mean yet. I will give you that information later, and I will give you a handwritten handout. So you don't have to remember anything, you don't have to write anything down. Just be in the moment. So the first thing I'd like you to do is know that there is a symbol coming that I'm going to say that has significance for you spiritually. And just ask, where does it feel right on the page? I'd like you to draw a snake somewhere in your circle. Whatever feels right to you, however you're led to do that. A snake. And I will tell you what that might mean for you here in a bit. I'll finish the process first. Now, add a flower. Where do you feel a flower would be best placed on your picture? Whatever kind of flower feels right to you. Now I'd like you to draw a path. A path. Whatever you think a path might look like for you. A path. A path. No, you're fine. It's okay. It's fine. Why not? Yeah, it's perfect. We need a little entertainment while we're doing this. Next, draw a bird. Whatever kind of bird comes to you. Whatever you think. Whatever feels right to you. Wherever it feels right to you. Maybe you want it at the bottom of your page. Maybe you want it at the top of your page. It doesn't have to be what you expect it to be. It can be whatever feels right to you. Once you've drawn your bird, put a mountain. A mountain. And after you've placed your mountain wherever it belongs, let's draw a tree. Let's draw a tree. So on your paper, you'll have your circle, and you'll have a snake, a flower, a path, a bird, a mountain, and a tree. With that done, fold your paper in half, and then in half again, and that will create 2 quadrants. Anyway, half and then half again. So you'll end up with 4 quadrants. Then open your paper back up again. And this is where it gets a little tricky because I get my rights and my lefts in the wrong direction, so I'm going to do my best to get my rights and lefts correct for you. So, bottom, facing you, you're facing your bottom, that one. Right. The bottom right is the valley of the trees, that's physical. Okay, I'm going to just stay here, you can hear my voice. Then the one on the bottom
What
left.
was the right?
The other one, this one, that's the valley of the flowers, that's the emotional. You don't have to write down, I'm going to give you a handout. That's what it is, this is the emotional quadrant. This one up here is the mental quadrant, and this one over here is the spiritual quadrant. Wherever you place those things, those objects, those symbolic objects,
Oh, wow.
will have significance to you. So let me tell you what the symbolic objects might mean for you. They may have additional meanings for you, but I'm going to give you some information here. Again, you don't have to write all this stuff down. Just be with this for now and see how this applies to your situation, okay? So the snake is about wisdom, healing, and regeneration. Wherever you put the snake, that's where you're healing.
Oh, wow.
Or where healing is important for you now. Or where it'd be a really good idea to heal. So if your snake is in the physical, you've got some physical healing to do. There's some things to look at in the physical realm. If it's in the emotional, there's some emotional traumas that you're ready to heal now. If it's in the mental arena, your thoughts, healing your thoughts, healing your intent, clarifying your intent. It's in the spiritual, there may be some old spiritual wounds that you're ready to heal. We can acquire spiritual wounds when we've had somebody who is beating us up with their beliefs. That can create a spiritual wound. Our own sense of unworthy can be part of that spiritual wound, those kinds of things.
What if it's right in the middle?
If it's right in the middle, honey, you're in a full meal deal. You get to heal on all levels. Now, the kind of snake that you do, if it's enjoined, that means the head is biting the tail. That's a healing and can be healing relationships. If it's coiled up, that may indicate rest is a part of your healing process in whatever inner area that is. If the snake is ready to strike, you can heal best if you set clear boundaries first. If it has a tongue, it may be time to speak your truth in love and be clear, and that will help you heal. If it has eyes, define your vision or share your vision about healing. If there's a pattern, notice recurring themes that keep wounding you. It's really important to take a look at that. That will help you heal. If it's filled in, take care of your own health first, then help others. If it has a rattle, like a rattlesnake, this gives you the ability to protect yourself and take time to acquire that sense of safety. It's time to be safe. Be safe, and then you can heal. Make sense? Okay. The flower, excuse me, the flower is unfolding or growing. This is new opportunities in whatever arena this is in. And this also gives you the ability to, depending on the kind of flower, can give you some significance about that. For example, if you drew a daisy, lesme, lesbiana, lesme, lesbiana. So this is about choice and feeling as if you have the power of choice. If it's a rose, it's about, does love hurt? What's your perception of love? That's right.
A zinnia?
A zinnia. It's like a daisy, but it has so many petals. It's unending.
Yeah.
It just unfolds and unfolds and unfolds. There's so much here. There's so much love here in whatever area that is. And this is asking you to unfold or grow in whatever area or arena that this has manifested itself for you. A bird. A bird is about a spiritual message delivered to you. What's good to know now? What's important for you to know now? If you drew a chicken, fear may be present. If you drew an eagle, great spirit is sending you a message. If you have an owl, there's a message from the other side. If you drew a robin, there's a new beginning here for you. That makes sense? So depending on what. A hawk? Hawk is about focus. Focus. We'll just dive right in and get what it needs. Yeah.
What about a rubber duck?
A rubber duck. Okay. Well, I don't know about that. Let me just look. Where is it? What realm is it in?
Mostly in the physical with a little bit peeking into the spiritual.
Okay, so have fun. Time to have fun. The sparrow. Oh, and what realm is the sparrow in? Spiritual? Okay. Okay, so to quote the good book, God knows even when a sparrow falls. God knows who you are. You have God's attention. You can receive that attention. You're worthy of it. Take it on.
I have an emotional turkey.
You have an emotional turkey? Oh, good boy. Awesome. An emotional turkey. Well, I think you just said it all right there, didn't you? Nothing more to be said.
Spiritual dove.
It's all about love. If it ain't love, don't do it. If it ain't love, don't do it. It's all about love. Yes, ma'am.
Seagull?
A seagull. I knew somebody had a seagull. Which realm?
Emotional.
Okay, you're ready to swoop and go. They just hover right on the wind, and then they swoop in and get whatever they want, and they can talk about it loud. This is mine. Mine. It's time for mine.
That's what seagull in the middle.
Seagull in the mental, it's mine. You get it. You get to have it. Okay.
Seagull of the physical.
Seagull in the physical. It's mine. It's time to acquire what's rightfully yours. Take it on. Acquire, bring stuff to you that's yours. This is my stuff. Take roots. Fight yourself. Be strong. Make sense? Yes, ma'am.
I have an owl.
An owl in mental. Okay, this is a spirit message from the other side in the mental. So have you ever wanted to talk to the other side? Communicate with the other side? You don't know? Well, you might want to think about that because it's in the mental. So there may be someone on the other side wanting to communicate with you. Make sense? Yes, ma'am.
Halfway between the mental and the spiritual, I've got a bird. This message that is running a lot of energy.
Okay, she has a bird halfway between mental and spiritual, and it's burning a lot of energy. So you're thinking too much. Make sense? Yes. Phoenix in the mental. Okay, this is time for rebirth, reawakening of who you really are. Who do you really want to be? And start with some new affirmations, so a new mission statement, and rebirth yourself.
That looks like one of those fuzzy chickens.
Oh, a peep? In what realm? speaking. Okay, but you're going forever. I'm going. A bird in flight where? Mental. Okay, so let your thoughts take flight. Let them manifest themselves. Okay. One more.
Spiritual chicken.
A spiritual chicken. What are you afraid of, girl? Okay, so a spiritual chicken. This is letting you know that it's okay to be afraid. Just don't let it own you. You know, we're all afraid. But courage really is walking through it anyway. Knowing that you're not alone. You don't have to be all powerful. You got somebody else that's all powerful. You just walk the deal. Okay? You got help. You're not alone. Okay, let's move on. If you have other questions, I have Dan in the back and Lynn up front, and they're going to help you translate all this stuff and give you a bigger picture. Just a second, we'll hand those up. Mountain, spiritual seeking. It's also the challenge. Wherever your mountain is, that's your biggest challenge right now.
Really?
Ring true?
Did you do the whole thing?
Don't you love it? You knew that. You cosmically knew that. And Spirit helped you place that in just the right space to give you the information that you need right now. Now, if your mountain has snow on it, you may have snow. Okay, this is untapped emotional energy that you can access to help you with whatever challenge you've got. Does that make sense? It's unused or untapped resources or frozen emotions. So take a look at that. If it crosses all your quadrants or have lots of quadrants involved in this, you got some big challenges here. But what other symbolism that you have placed near that can be of assistance to you. This is letting you know, pray about it. You're not alone. Pray about it. You can have help with this. Just because it's a challenge doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. Challenge makes us step up, makes us grow, and gets us to the mountaintop. You can only have a peak experience when you're on the mountaintop. You can't have a peak experience wallowing in the valley. So thank God for that challenge. And you can step up into that. Your tree is about your psychic or personal growth. So wherever you have this is like a little bit bigger than a flower. This adds to that. If your tree is in the fall, so it has leaves that are falling, let go of some old stuff. You don't need to carry stuff. If it's a summer tree, reach higher. It's time to grow. If it's an evergreen, reclaim your optimism. Evergreens are always green. You always have access to this green, positive, healing, psychic energy. Reclaim that. If you drew roots on your tree, notice where you came from. Notice your past influences. You don't have to live in the past, but they give you a foundation. If the trunk is the main thing in your tree, be present in your own life. Be here. Stand strong. If you have bark on your tree, nurture yourself. Nurture yourself. And your branches are all about setting new goals. So if you have a gazillion of them, set your goals. Prioritize. Good for you. If you have foliage, instead of the fall is letting go of stuff, if you have foliage, this is restore hopes. Your own hopes and other people's hopes. Bottom line, trust your intuition. If you think it means something, it probably does. And you already know in your heart what your own soul and divine spirit is trying to communicate with you, trying to support you. And again, Lynn here, Dan in the back, I'll be here to help you. If you have any other questions, do you want to pass out the papers, or we're going to let's do
The path.
So you not do a pathway? I didn't do the pathway. Oh, there's probably a message in that for me. A pathway is the direction your attention is currently taking you. If it starts in the spiritual and ends in the physical, start in the spiritual, that's where your path is starting, and it's taking you into the physical realm. If you're starting in the emotional and then go to spiritual, wherever your path takes you, or wherever quadrant it's in or traverses, is telling you about your path right now. Where it starts and where it ends has significance for you. Does that make sense? So again, how it reflects on your current situation, if you need a little assistance with that, people will help you. We're going to do communion first, and then we'll do our energy circle. And on your way out, Sandra has a stack. Make sure that you get a copy of this handout sheet, so you don't have to.
What we just did was we communed with Divine Source and we shared a process. Communion is another opportunity to commune with Divine Source. So whatever that is for you, there's an opportunity for you. If you like the tradition of unleavened bread, we have that. We have rice cakes if you're wheat intolerant, animal crackers if you like to honor Native American pathway. Whatever works for you works for us. So would you join us in prayer, please? Loving Spirit of Light, thank you for guidance. Thank you for connecting in with us, helping us as we walk our path. Help us to be open to that connection more and more. And we ask that you walk with us in all things. These things we pray in the name of Jesus. As that continues around, join us in prayer, please. Loving Spirit of Light, as we drink this in, help us to drink in life. Drink it all in. Be all in. Know that we're here for a reason and a purpose. Even if we don't understand what it is specifically right now, help us to know that that purpose is being revealed to us. Help us to be in communion with you as we fulfill that purpose. These things we pray in the name of Jesus.
But she's still here.
We are really blessed to have the space that we have at our little church, and these people who are not paid for what they do, and so this goes towards our space, and we appreciate any help. If you have nothing, just bless the basket. It's fabulous. So thank you.
Here, take a selfie of yourself.
Put your phone in and do something.
I have no idea. I
Therein lies the
Theoretically, I know how it works. But
Well, like that.
Is there a way to adjust it?
Yeah.
We have people out front that know all about this that can help you with that.
Or they might even take a picture of you with your own phone. You can't figure this thing out. There's actually places in the world that have outlawed things. Some European countries have actually outlawed things.
Well, I mean, let's face it, that extends out if you go places you don't know.
I won't ask you what you mean.
If you didn't get a calendar, this week we have a intuitive development workshop on Thursday. It's every third Thursday. Class is only $10. If you want to tap into your intuitive self, it's a wonderful place to go and do that. It's a safe environment full of love and joy and all craziness. It's great fun, so come join us at our little church by Winfrey Bar. There's other stuff going on. Have questions about that? Let me know.
If we never see you again, the services are on YouTube every Sunday.
Yep. The Divine Fellowship. Don't spread. Don't change. Don't put spaces in between. One word.
Yeah, all one word. All one word.
Yeah, you have all kinds of surprises.
Also, the Divine Fellowship group is, we have a mediumship panel that is going to be doing the mediumship thing at noon today, back in this room.
You're going to do connect to the other side?
Yes, connecting to the other side. Yes. That might be something we might do. All right, so are we ready for the closing song?
Yes, we are. Oh, I remember what I was going to do.
It's a miracle. It's an Expo miracle.
That's a
Miracle being find it.
It's happening.
Just leave your clipboards on the seat whenever you leave.
There it is.
Oh, yeah. So while we're doing that, can we circle up?